Hey guys, welcome back to Finding God's Beauty. This is part 2 of my seed storage, my seed stockpile, whatever you want to call it. My seeds, basically, the ones that I've looked at in the store and said I can't live without. So the first one was the square container. Now we are into this bad boy. This is gonna be a good one. Because there are some fun seeds in here. Okay. And for double assurance, all my seeds are in plastic bags. So this first, yeah, they're all in here. So this first packet, these are some of my most recent seed purchases. I purchased these right before I moved up here, back home to New Jersey while I was in Florida. Even though I had these shipped to New Jersey, this company I found online when I looked up Black owned seed company. I make an effort to support businesses of color. You know, our money speaks, and I'm tired of it speaking for the wrong thing. So I make the effort and I look for those companies when I can, and if they are available, I support them, even if it costs a little bit more. The key to making it more affordable is for us to buy it more. So yeah, but anyway, the company is called True Love Seeds. It's based actually out of Pennsylvania, which surprised me when I had ordered the seeds. I didn't think that they were that close to my home state, but they do support Black owned seed starting companies. So True Love Seeds is like the umbrella, and then underneath they get their seeds from other seed vendors, if you will, but they're all Black owned or of color, depending on the I guess the seeds that you're purchasing. Because if you go on their website, they have different, I'm trying to think of the word that they use, it's like collections of different seeds that specify specifically to different parts of the world. So there's like Asia, there's Middle Eastern, there's South American, Caribbean, and American, Black American, African American. A lot of the seeds I got today that I'm going to show you today, do cover African American, and I'm going to try and tell you a story if they come along with the story and why I purchased them. Specifically because I didn't just buy the whole collection, because I do have seeds already and I want to make sure I use those, but I still wanted to support, and as you can see, I definitely did. Okay, so let's get started. So the first packet is called Sea Island Red Okra. So to give you more background too, within the seed company, they try and promote seeds that are important to keeping alive. So basically they can be on the verge of, you know, no longer being around, or they have some type of history, importance to a culture. So let me see if this, so this specific seed packet came from Sista Seeds. Sista Seeds grows heirloom vegetables, herbs, and grain seeds from across the African diaspora with a focus on African American, Afro-Caribbean, and West African cultural crops. So Sea Island Red Okra, specific to the Gullah Geechee community down south, which I do have ancestry linked to there. For those of you that don't know, the Gullah corridor, that corridor goes from like Charleston area down to Jacksonville, actually a little further than Jacksonville, but it goes basically from South Carolina to Florida. And there's these islands that are off the coast in Beaufort and that general area, like St. Helens Island, and those islands around there where enslaved Africans escaped to, and they were free. They were free there because nobody was coming to look for them. Those islands, as we already know, the colonizers weren't trying to put in the work, so they definitely weren't trying to cross swamps and certain waters and things to get to them, and that allowed them to stay close to their culture, allowed them to be closer to their roots from West Africa, and to have their own community untouched by the rest of the world, the country, and hold on to those traditions and things that were so important to our ancestors. And this was a seed that was grown there, Sea Island red okra. I did plant some of this in the garden, so we are definitely going to see what this looks like. It's a very bright red okra. I can't wait to see it. It says, this beautiful productive okra with slender dark red pods that remain tender to 5 inches long. For those of you that don't know, okra, if you let it get too long, it gets very woody and tough, and you're not going to want to eat it. Apparently this doesn't do that. 5 inches is pretty long for okra. This variety comes from the Gullah Geechee community of the Georgia Sea Islands. Okay, so these are a little bit further down than South Carolina, but still it's close. Gullah Geechee, it's the community, and these seeds, they all have like a little, some of them have a little story to them. Some just are heirloom varieties that they want to keep alive. This next one is called Feathery Plume Celosia. I do have some of this planted in the garden. It's going to be pink, magenta, red, yellow, or orange, and it has a feathery coxcomb. Here we go. That's the seed. Second. This next one is called White Velvet Okra. Let me see if there's a... So this is planted by Justevia Farm and Tea Company, started by 2 phenomenal black women in North Mississippi who seek to preserve seeds that are culturally relevant to us and our immigrant communities. Look how pretty that is. I think this is the variety that I planted over by the tomatoes and on the other side of the garden, so I cannot wait to see what these varieties do, especially seeing, I can't wait to pick all the okra in the garden, from the Jing orange to the Sea Island red to the white okra, the green okras, and just have them all in a basket to see the colors, y'all, and to eat them. So next I have the Chicago Callaloo. Okay, nice. Okay, so this is developed by Urban Grows Collective, a black and woman-led nonprofit farm in Chicago working to build a more just and equitable local food system. They cultivate nourishing environments which support health, economic development, healing, and creativity with urban agriculture. Y'all, Chicago Callaloo. And if you want to see pictures of the stuff that doesn't have pictures, go on their website. There's pictures of people harvesting, there's stories, everything. This one, like I told you guys, I wanted to try Callaloo and see what it was about, and then just on the back it talks about urban agriculture. It doesn't matter if you have a whole bunch of land or not, you can still grow something. Next, North Georgia Candy Roaster Squash. Just to give you a description, because this is the one seed that I've planted like multiple times in the garden and the birds have found, or the squirrels. So I'm not sure if we're gonna have any success. There's only one plant left in the garden. It's a sweet, dense Appalachian squash bred by the Cherokee Nation in the 1800s. Great for pies and roasting on the half shell, long pink banana shaped fruit with blue tips. Blue tips. This is grown by a Chelsea Askew. She's farmed numerous plots in southern Appalachia. This over the years, growing regionally adapted, high value, high calorie and culturally significant varieties handed down from dear family members and neighbors. So this comes from her ancestry and extended family and friends. That's so awesome. Next, I have some culantro. For those of you that don't like cilantro because it tastes like soap, apparently this is a good alternative for you. This is actually what's traditionally grown in like Mexico, further down, and even in Puerto Rico. Culantro, not cilantro, because cilantro, as you've seen in my tour videos, is already going to seed now, so you're not going to have that available to make sofrito and all that stuff with culantro can tolerate higher heat, so it's not going to go to seed as much. Next I have Dolique de Cuba, a long bean. I think this is the long bean that I have growing in the garden. It's going to be trellising. I can't wait to see what it does. Yeah, it doesn't have a story on the back. Granted, if you go on the website, there's going to be a story. It may not be a story about the specific farmer, because this one, it says this was actually grown by True Love Seeds. If I'm not giving you the backstory, it's because it was specifically grown by True Love Seeds. Also black owned, has stories too for the specific farm itself, but again, they're about keeping these seeds alive in their stories, and just, you know, so people can know and grow these foods, and so we're not just susceptible to just what's growing in the store, because most people, when they start gardening, that's what they want to grow, those perfect red round tomatoes, those perfect eggplants, those perfect onions, and nature's not like that, y'all. And if you know anything about nature, the prettier it gets, probably the less nutrition it has. Like, it's not as good for you. Like, I recently saw this video about oranges, saying that what used to take one orange to get the vitamins, like our ancestors, when they would eat one orange, they'd have the same amount of vitamins and nutrients that it takes us 5 oranges to eat, to get. So that tells you a lot about what our food's doing, the soil quality that we have, the constant modification to the genetics, and getting rid of certain parts of the plant to show prettier, smoother stuff. You're getting rid of stuff when you're doing that. So but anyway, I digress, because we got a lot of stuff to get through. Next is the Nigerian garden egg. A 3-foot tall bush produces nutritious leaves, round fruits. They're used for many things. This is grown by True Love Seeds. I want to say that is the variety. I think that's the one that I got because it's got medicinal purpose, like medicine in the greens. I gotta look it up and clarify for you guys. But this next one is called Aunt Lou's Underground Railroad Tomato. I got this because of the story. It says on the front, dark pink red tangy slicer. In the mid 19th century, an unnamed black man brought these seeds from Kentucky to Ripley, Ohio, perhaps on the Underground Railroad. So basically it's saying man traveled on the Underground Railroad, supposedly. I think that I'm believing that that's what happened. He was on the Underground Railroad, had these seeds in his pocket, came to the north, and you know, back then people lived off the land. You had to grow your own food. He grew these tomatoes and was able to share these seeds with people everywhere up there. So, and from what I remember on the website, it says it was originally Aunt Lou's tomato, because the seeds came from a woman named Aunt Lou, but they went and dug deeper and found that she had got them from somebody who had got them from somebody, and it was originally from a man on the underground that came through on the Underground Railroad, and that's why the name is now Aunt Lou's Underground Railroad Tomato, because it came through the underground and then got to Aunt Lou. And the variety is rather fun looking. It's definitely an heirloom variety, if you know what I mean. Next is the Agusi melon. It's a West African melon that's dehulled for the seeds. It helps thicken soups. Great for snacks. Tastes like peanut butter. It has a high oil content. So this is a melon that you're not growing to eat the flesh. You're growing to eat the seeds. Next is Sea Island red peas. Let me see if it says it on here. This Gullah Geechee variety is an absolutely delicious southern pea used in coastal Carolina, Hoppin' John, and excuse me, y'all, and Reezy Peasy. I have never heard of Reezy Peasy. I'm gonna have to look that one up. Grows prolifically on short runners. So Hoppin' John's is red beans and rice, if I remember correctly. Reezy Peasy, I gotta look that up. I never heard of that. But again, a variety for the Gullah Geechee community. Had to buy it. Oh, let me show that to you guys. Next is the pretzel bean. Pretzel shaped seed pod reached to the sky atop tall vining cowpea plants used as black-eyed pea and for fixing nitrogen in the soil. I got this for many reasons. The one main was for the nitrogen fixing. Being that the soil that my grandfather had purchased a while back wasn't the best, I figured why not put something in the garden that can help with that. And then, y'all, when I show y'all this when it grows, because they're growing in the garden right now, they look like pretzels, like this curled pretzel with these lumps. Like it's crazy, and it's like a black-eyed pea. So I was like, you gotta grow black-eyed peas. If you don't, you do. Grow a bean other than like green beans or like snapping sauteed beans. Like grow something that you could potentially dry out and keep, because it's fun to learn even if you don't dry enough to, I don't know if I showed you guys that. Even if you don't grow enough to have quart jars and stuff like that to save and, you know, keep over winter and stuff, even if you learn how to just dry it for when you do get that amount, you know what to do, you know how to do it on a smaller scale and on a more manageable size. Next is Aunt Molly's ground cherry, first recorded in Pennsylvania in 1837. This historic Polish variety is a delightful combination of sweet and tart with notes of vanilla and pineapple. Y'all, that tells you enough right there. Vanilla and pineapple, come on. And I just saw that it says it's a Polish variety. I am part Polish, so maybe that's why the ancestors guided me to it. So that's crazy. Vanilla and pineapple. Can't wait. I think I did try and start some and it just didn't go well because of a number of things. I don't think it was the seeds. 100% my problems. And then I have some Ethiopian green mustard. A leafy green with a flavor similar to a mustard green but without the spicy kick. Delicious sauteed and raw, especially when picked young. Grown by Sister Seeds. Okay, so the next one. Okay, so the next one, oh, that's just some empty bags, y'all. Let's see. Oh, so I put these all in here in separate bags because the original bags are paper and I just didn't want anything to get on them, potentially water. So I took all the packs because let me show you what the packs look like. This is them. And these packs were $3 each. So if you see any packs like this, they were all $3. I got these. Let's see, you can see the name right there. Not sure if that's gonna come up right for you guys because I'm using my phone on the selfie side. But I got them in Jacksonville at a feed store. Yeah, I went in there to buy seeds for a friend to ship them to her, and I was just going crazy, not realizing the pack sizes I was getting and how much they cost. I spent $100 on seeds. Sorry, I don't want my parents to hear me say that because they're gonna be like, what? Why would you spend that much money? But it was almost $100 on these seeds. Because they're larger than the packs that you would get at the store, like a regular store for like a homestead. Like this feed store, they're selling these packs because people have land down there. They have acres, they have larger plots of land to grow, or they're also growing these seeds to sell the starts at like the farmer's market to people who do have gardens who don't want to start their seeds. So down in the South, it's very different. People tend to have more land, so they're gonna grow more. So you're gonna go and want to buy a $3 pack of seeds, and then there are farms, not just the average homestead. There's actual farms. So below these packs that were for the regular people to come in there and buy, they had the buckets of seeds that they get these from and put into these packets that you could go in there and buy at the pound, quarter pound, because they had those prices there as well. And they also sold like, they did sell started plants. They sold chicken. They sold the feed. They sold, I'm trying to think what else was in that dang store. Like everything you could think of, because this was a dog food, cat food. Dear God, it's a store with a lot of stuff. Like think of Tractor Supply. That's what it was like, a Tractor Supply. But this one is called a Little Marvel Peas. Let me pull a couple of these out. Okay. Have some zucchini. So this is probably, I think, Black Beauty's zucchini. Cherry Bell Radish. Have a whole big packet of those. Cali Black Eyed Peas. Detroit Beets. So these are going to be the Detroit Red. For those of you that don't know, grow some dang beets. Beet powder is very expensive. If you want to get into like a good, like, I don't know, self-owned business, like apparently beet powder is the way to go. Grow beets, dehydrate them, and sell the powder. Apparently that's like, you know, probably not as expensive as gold, but it's a pretty good lucrative business. I've seen some pretty hefty prices for some dehydrated beets, basically. Georgia collards, spaghetti squash, which I think I did pull the seeds from this. They are growing in the garden. The groundhog keeps trying to eat it, so we'll see if we're successful. Tucker's favorite corn. This is the corn that I think is actually growing in the garden that's successful, because that sweet corn I've had for too long. I don't think it's going to germinate. This is the corn that I did plant this year, and I think this is the corn that's doing very well in the garden. So we'll see. Rutgers tomato, all the way down in Florida. It's made it to Florida, and it's made it because Rutgers tomato is a very desirable variety. It's literally, to me, it looks like the ones you get in the store. Perfectly round, red, and hefty. It's a beefsteak, so it's hefty, good for slicing type of thing, which are the ones that you get in the store. And it's easy to grow. It's pretty good, resistant to a lot of stuff. Next, I have purple top turnips. Sugar baby watermelons. As you can see, sugar babies are very popular. Lady finger peas. I think I might have some of these in the garden. I can't remember if the groundhog got to them, because I did start some peas up here once I got settled in. Some of these varieties that I didn't, you know, I don't see them in the stores anywhere. But the groundhog also did eat some of them, so I know I have a purple knuckle pea. Some jalapenos, the purple knuckle pea. I do have some of these in the garden. The Big Max pumpkin. Y'all, I don't know what I was thinking. A Big Max pumpkin. If you don't know what that is, Google it. These are the pumpkins that people grow for competitions because they get to like 1,000 pounds, I think. I think that's the variety, the Big Max pumpkin. Google it just to confirm, but I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know no one up here with like that size of a garden or space. Like, excuse me, romaine lettuce. I'll probably do some of this in the fall. Florida mustard, growing in the garden. It is going to seed because of the heat. Burpless cucumber. I didn't know this until recently, but apparently the burpless cucumber is called a burpless cucumber because you don't burp. You burp less when you eat that cucumber, because I guess some people have indigestion problems when they're eating raw vegetables, and cucumbers are one of the ones that make you burp. So it's called burpless. It's also not good for pickling though. So you see, you take away the burping, now you can't preserve it. So gotta weigh your options. Congo watermelon. I have some of these growing in the green stalk. We'll see what happens, because I have a feeling my dad's gonna lose it when that stuff starts taking over the walkway and all the grass and he can't mow. But hopefully that'll go away once he can eat the watermelon and fruit and veg. Cali bell peppers. Dwarf okra. White acre peas. Jackson Wonder beans, right? Yeah. Speckled bush Jackson Wonder. White bush squash. This squash I have growing in the garden if the groundhog doesn't try to attack it again. I have one of them on the green stalk. This is also known, please correct me if I'm wrong, as like what's known as a patty pan. It's like a small white scalloped squash. Ever since I saw it on YouTube channel, one of the channels talking about it, I was like, I gotta try that squash. And this seed, not until recently have I seen this actually being sold in like the single little packets, like at Dollar Tree. But I was like, I'm never gonna not have it if I really like it. If I don't like it, I have seeds to share with people who might. Broccoli. Let's see. Valencia peanuts, y'all. It's that simple, right? Just have some peanut. I mean, I don't know if I don't think you can get the peanuts that you know are shelling yourself that have been roasted because you're killing it. Sorry, y'all, my scarf is coming up. Because I guess all the little bit of water inside needed to germinate is evaporated. But some raw peanuts you buy at the store, I'm sure you could probably start some seeds if they're still in the shell. Yellow squash, straight neck, Kentucky bush. There's probably some already growing in the garden. I think I put one of the plants that survived in there. Silver skin bean. And then this, literally the packet itself, the white one and what I wrote, just says kale. I don't even know what variety of kale it is. Okay. Then I have some rattlesnake beans. And then this, I'm going to be planting come the fall because I've had this for a few years now. I think I got these. Oh, some of these I got from Dollar Tree. I need to do these over the winter. It's microgreen packs. This says hot mix. Hot mix, spice mix with red and green mustard greens. Make a great base for any microgreen salad or sandwich. Great flavor and mixture of colors. If y'all don't know this, microgreens just means you're picking them when they're little, like micro, like when they just germinate. If you let them grow to seed, like keep growing, they're gonna get bigger. So the greens, that's all this is, I guess, is red and green mustard greens. I don't know what red mustard greens are, but oh, here we go. It says the hot mix contains mustard purple wave, mustard Mizuna line streaked, mustard tatsoi, kale red ursa, and kohlrabi purple Vienna. So if you just took all these seeds, planted them individually, those would be what they would grow to full size. So if all you can afford is some microgreens, you have food. Like, not just tiny little food, like stuff that will get bigger and be more productive. This next microgreen mix has cabbage red express, kale lasanito. That's the kale, the dinosaur kale, lasanito, mustard tatsoi, black knight, cabbage pak choi, and mustard mizuna for $1. I want to say I got these at Dollar Tree. This next one, I don't think I got it at Dollar Tree. I think this was a Walmart purchase, because this is a salad greens mix tape. So you're supposed to like put this in the ground because it's all on the tape, and then you water it and it's supposed to grow. It's 22.5 feet worth of seeds, so 270 seeds. This was like $8. You see the little picture? How are you supposed to see what it contains? Okay, so it says arugula, lettuce, and spinach. So yeah, I mean, and I bought this last year, 2022. Let me see when I bought these. 2022. Yeah, 2022. So I bought these last year. Yeah, I'm gonna probably give these a try this fall and see what they do. Um, yeah, we'll see what this one does because I don't know if that tape's gonna affect it or not. But I think that's everything. Yeah, that's all my seeds, y'all. Thanks for sitting here listening to me because Lord knows it can be mundane and monotonous and boring, and you could just be over it that quickly. But yeah, these are all my seeds. Do you have any questions, comments, or if I asked you to clarify something for me, put it in the comment section below. Let me know about it, and I can make another video talking about it. If you want to see something else, if I do buy any more seeds, I'll definitely do a haul video for you guys. But yeah, thanks for coming along. Comment, like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.